Am I audible properly now? Okay. Hi, good morning everyone. How are you all? I think there was an issue with the sound. Now we are back. Yes sir, exams are very nearer. Today is 30th April and 15th May the exams are starting. 15 days for starting of exam, and plus after 15 days exams are over, you are having next 16 days examination. So can I say total 31 days? Yes, these are the 31 days you need to ensure you are delivering your best. Yes, this 31 days you need to ensure you are delivering your very best. And I'll start with a quote by Martin Luther the King. Yeah, I'm starting with a quote today. Martin Luther the King says, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But don't stop. Same applies to you. You cannot stop. You need to ensure till your exams are over, you are making efforts. You are not stopping in between. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But don't stop. Chalo, our today's session is basically on RTP of CA Intermediate paper number 6. So RTP May 22 we are discussing. Now before I go to the RTP, let me just tell you about the special scheme which we are having at Unacademy only for today. Yeah, today is the last day for the scheme. I'll just glance you through that scheme. If someone is subscribing to Unacademy today, yeah, it's last day today, they will be getting 20% off on all subscription. It's on all the subscription, plus subscription, iconic subscription, any of the subscription. You can use code YESHAS, YESHAS, and avail that 20% discount. So please share it with all your friends. Probably आप लोगों का subscription you may not be wanting it, but आपके friends might want it, or you might also take up a subscription for CA final if you're confident, yes, my exams are going to go well. Chalo, let's start with the RTP of May 22. Hi Mihir, hi Shivam, hi Shivanshu. Now, first of all, they've given you one small amendment. एक छोटा सा amendment they've given. So, sir, first question, are there any amendments in the subject of auditing? Are there any amendments in the subject of auditing? The biggest amendment is we have CARO 2020 applicable, not CARO 2016. I repeat, the biggest amendment is CARO 2020 is applicable, not CARO 16. So that's the biggest amendment. And now there's one small change. There's one small change. If you just recall, आपका resignation of auditor. In case of resignation of auditor, the penalty is changed. The resignation of auditor, the minimum penalty 50,000 or your remuneration, whichever is less. Resignation of auditor, section 140, subsection 2 and 3. Minimum penalty 50,000 or your remuneration, whichever is less. वो minimum penalty था. Maximum penalty क्या था? Maximum penalty was 500 per day. Continuing default 500 per day up to rupees 5 lakh in total. The maximum penalty 5 lakh tha, that 5 lakh has been made as 2 lakhs. I repeat, one is CARO 2020 applicable, second, resignation of auditor, the penalty is changed. And this is the third amendment. Otherwise, in your subject of auditing, there are no such amendments. So don't worry about amendments. इतने कोई audit में amendments आते ही नहीं है यार. अच्छा, now tell me, can a company issue shares at discount? Just a reminder, session has to be two-way. जितना आप लोग interact करोगे, you'll enjoy more. And especially, always ensure whatever faculty asks, you should be the person replying. Can a company issue shares at discount? Okay, Himanshu says no. Okay, so we cannot issue the shares at discount unless it's a sweat equity share. Yeah, the sweat equity share. Sweat equity shares are the shares issued to the directors or employees for that work they have done. Na khoon pasine ke shares, sweat equity shares. We are not allowed to issue shares at discount except it is a sweat equity share. There's a new thing which is added is the shares may be issued at discount to the creditors. I repeat, shares may be issued to discount to the creditors whenever the debt is settled under a restructuring scheme or a debt restructurement color thing. That time the shares can be issued at discount. The shares may be issued at discount to its creditor when the debt is converted into shares in pursuance to a statutory resolution plan or a debt restructuring scheme which is in accordance with guidelines, directions, regulations by the RBI, which is in accordance with guidelines, basically your directions or regulations issued by RBI. Did you understand? This is the only amendment. This is the only amendment which is given in RTP. So creditors को shares can be given at discount if it is in pursuance to any statutory resolution plan or a debt restructuring scheme which is as per the guidelines, directions, regulations of RBI. अच्छा मेरा कोई normal creditor था. I had a normal creditor, not a bank or someone. To them can I give shares at discount? No. It has to be a part of statutory resolution plan or a debt restructuring scheme which is as per the guidelines, directions, regulations of RBI. This is the only amendment. Now let's come to your questions. Starting with first of all MCQs. Starting with first of all your multiple choice questions which are given in RTP. We'll be discussing RTP in detail. So don't worry, sare questions what are there in RTP will be discussed. Just a reminder, whatever questions are given in RTP, majority, not majority, I'll say 95% of questions are directly there in our material. Just one or two questions were bit different. Otherwise all questions which are there in RTP, they are 100% there in our material as well. Okay, now coming to case study number 1. Save Lives Limited. Good name, Save Life. Save Lives Limited is a listed company which deals in manufacturing of sanitizer, floor cleaner, dish and fabric cleaner. So due to COVID-19, the company has grown very fast. The company is highly automated, driven by IT systems and application. And they use an integrated ERP system since last 5 years. KRAN and Associate has been appointed to a statutory audit. The firm consists of 8 partners. Okay? CAN is the engagement partner. So KRAN and Associates are the auditors, and out of that, CAN is the engagement partner. CAN briefed the team about the audit and how IT would be relevant to audit. So you brief the team about your audit and how IT will be relevant for your audit, because that company is highly automated. Clearly likha hai, company is highly automated. So can I say मैं IT वाली things check करनी पड़ेगी? It's highly automated. ठीक है. You brief the team and how IT will be relevant to audit. So just highlight IT would be relevant to audit. The team's understanding of entity and automated environment, which involves an understanding of how IT was organized, IT activities, IT dependence, uske relevant risk, controls, everything. One of the team member wanted to understand importance of different types of control in automated environment. कौन से थे different controls in automated environment? General IT control, application IT control, IT dependent control. याद आया? General IT control, application IT control, IT dependent control. ठीक है, तो we discussed that also. And the same was discussed in detail. The Companies Act 2013 also places a greater emphasis on effective implementation and reporting on internal controls. So CAN decided himself to evaluate the internal financial controls. Remember IFC reporting? So CAN ने decide किया कि वो खुद IFC check करेगा. CAN decided himself to evaluate and validate the design and operating effectiveness of internal financial control over the financial reporting. ठीक है. Now, internal financial controls क्या है? What are IFC? They are policies and procedures put in place by the company for ensuring adequacy and also the operating effectiveness of such control. They are nothing but policies, procedures adopted by the management. Audit team decided to use tools and technique that help auditor in applying the principles of data analytics. These are known as CATs. We are going to use computerized assisted audit technique. Data analytics can also be used in testing of electronic record and the data residing in the system using spreadsheet specialized audit tool. अच्छा, specialized audit tool कौन से लिखे हैं उन्होंने? IDEA ACL. ACL का full form है Audit Command Language. Is there in our material? Idea, interactive data extraction and analysis. Idea वो Vodafone वाला idea नहीं. It's interactive data extraction and analysis. ठीक है. Now see the question. First, under which situation IT is not relevant to audit? कौन से situation में IT is not relevant? Increased complexity of transaction. Yes, it's relevant. Transactions complex है. High-tech nature of business. IT relevant. Volume of activity is low. IT will be relevant when volume of activity is low or high. IT will be relevant when volume of activity is low or high, sir. When volume of activity is high. So when IT will not be relevant, answer is when volume of activity is low. IT will not be relevant when volume of activity is low. Okay, next. Which of the following is a risk? Which of the following is a risk that arise from use of IT? What's a risk that arise from use of IT? Direct data change. Backend पे किसी ने data change कर दिया who was not authorized to do it. Yeah, that's a risk from IT. Limited या monitored access. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Adequate segregation of duty. वो भी नहीं है. Which is a risk that comes from use of IT? Authorized access to data. See, authorized access तो risk ही नहीं है. Unauthorized access is a risk. So answer over here will be, can I say the first one, direct data change backend say? And see, if you know the answer, keep replying. Don't wait for my answer. You can reply on your own. And more you reply, seriously I'm telling you, more you'll enjoy the sessions. The relationship between two control is that. The relationship between two control is such that dash are needed to support the functioning of dash, and both are needed to ensure complete and accurate processing of IT system. Dash are needed to support the functioning of dash. General IT controls are needed to support the functioning of application IT control, and both are needed to ensure complete, accurate information processing. So general IT control, यहाँ पे आना चाहिए, general IT controls are needed to support application IT controls. Answer will be D. General IT controls are needed to support your application IT controls, and both are needed to ensure everything is fine. Okay, IFC. IFC refers to policies and procedures put in place by company for ensuring which of the following? IFC refers to policies, procedures put in place for which of the following? क्यों IFC डालते हैं? 1. For reliability of financial transaction, effectiveness, efficiency of operation, safeguarding of human resource, जान बचाने के लिए, safeguarding of human resource, prevention, detection of errors. If I just see यहाँ पे, which is the more correct one? Which is the more correct one? So someone says it's a prevention, detection of errors. Now tell me, do you put IFC only for errors? नहीं. Fraud भी होते हैं, उसको भी पकड़ने के लिए है. Better answer over here. I don't say that is wrong, but better answer over here is effectiveness and efficiency of operation, overall operation. So IFC refers to policies, procedures put in place by company for ensuring effectiveness and efficiency of operation. Are you clear? This is your 1.4. Now 1.5. Data analytics can be used in testing of various electronic records and the data residing in IT system using spreadsheets, specialized audit tools, IDEA and ACL to perform which of the following? तो डेटा एनालिटिक्स से कौन सा काम कर सकते हैं? Evaluating impact of control deficiencies. तो कोई कंट्रोल डेफिशिएंसी मिली, उसकी इम्पैक्ट कितनी होगी, उसके लिए compliance with applicable laws and regulation, authorize changes to program, providing latest information. IDEA ACL is basically for analysis. Yeah, तो if this is the deficiencies, तो इसकी impact कितनी आएगी? Answer will be A. Answer will be A. It's not compliance with laws and regulation. उससे वो टेस्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो आंसर will be A, evaluating impact of control deficiencies. Any doubts? Case study 1. Any doubts? Case study 1. It was a simple one. The only thing ये जो case study 1 था ना, this was based on automated environment chapter. And the problem is, as a student, we feel automated environment is difficult. IT आ जाता है ना, difficult हो जाता है. So please make sure you're not doing that way. Any student who felt that automated environment is a difficult chapter, I have a YouTube session, full chapter of automated environment covered in YouTube session. YouTube में search करना auditing in automated environment, you will definitely get it. Next one, case study 2. Case study 2. You are a partner in ABC and Company Chartered Accountant firm based in New Delhi. And ABC and Company is appointed as a statutory auditor of One Time Limited. Acha, so you are appointed. ABC and Co is a CA firm. You're appointed as the statutory auditor of One Time Limited. They manufacture and sell wall and table clocks. One time. Time बताते हैं. There are many branches all across India. ठीक है? And however, all domestic sales have contributed toward major source of revenue. Export भी start किया है. You being an engagement partner, along with 5-member team, one of the team members started verification of inventory. Okay, one of the team member started the verification of inventory, and he checked the valuation of inventory has been recognized as per AS2. We checked valuation of inventory is as per AS2. Good. Chalo, that is fine. Valuation of inventory as per AS2. Next, let me just go up a bit. Here. During detail checking, he noticed that the amount spent on salary of admin employee and the normal wastage on production was not added to valuation of inventory. So, amount spent on admin salary employee, normal wastage was not included in valuation of inventory. Tell me, admin employee salary, should I include in the cost of inventory? Admin employee का salary क्या cost of inventory में लेना है? No. But normal wastage are included. Remember, cost of normal wastage is borne by other good units. Admin employee का salary should not come, but normal wastage should be coming. The contention of XYZ was that the cost does not directly relate to production, so it was not added. ठीक है. Now, CAB also noticed one of the supplier of One Time Limited, AM, has sent some raw material to the company for storage in warehouse. Acha. Supplier sent. Supplier का नाम क्या है? Mr. AM. Has sent some raw material to the company for storage in their warehouse. Acha. Now tell me, if your supplier sends you some raw material for just storage purpose, is it your raw material or is it his only? If he gave me some raw material just for storage purpose, is it my raw material? नहीं sir, मैंने तो सिर्फ store करने के लिए रखा हुआ है. He just gave me for storing. I have not purchased. Okay, the supplier gave you some raw material for storage in March 21. Due to renovation going on in warehouse, uska stock could be damaged. So he has requested One Time to keep the same in their warehouse. So supplier ke warehouse mein there was a renovation going on. That's why he told you to keep it in your warehouse, and he contended that anyways next month आपको बेचने ही वाला था. I have to sell you the goods next month. तो पहले से अभी से रख लो आप. Okay, the point is supplier's warehouse there was renovation. That's why he sends his material to your place. You're not yet purchased. He is telling sir anyways you're going to purchase in next month. तो अभी से मैं आपको दे देता हूँ. Question. Should I show it as my purchase and my inventory today? Should I show it as my purchase and my inventory today? Answer is no. ये हमारा purchase नहीं है. We are going to purchase in next month ना. we are just keeping it on behalf of him. It should not be included in inventory. The same had been included in valuation of stock. This is wrong. The same was included in valuation of stock. This is wrong. It should not be coming in our stock. Okay. Next, company has issued shares at premium. Premium received on shares is transferred to securities premium. Fine. The same were applied in writing off expense of selling of clock. Okay. Securities premium was used for writing off expense of selling the clock, preliminary expense, and some commission paid to sales agent. So can securities premium be used to write off selling expense? The securities premium ke selected use which are given under section 52, so this is not allowed. So yahan pe bhi there is some galti. Writing of preliminary expense is fine, other things are wrong. Writing of preliminary expense is fine, other things wrong. While verifying debtor, your team members see noticed there were a few trade receivable pertaining to export, and you verified the same with respect to invoices. The amount booked on 31st March was based on exchange rate on the date of invoice. Exchange rate on the date of invoice. Okay, I have a question. A foreign currency debtor, क्या हमें उसे closing rate पे लाना है? Foreign currency debtor, do we need to bring it to closing rate? Okay, Himanshu says yes, and that's correct. We are required to bring it to closing rate AS11. But यहाँ पे, can I say they are still lying at the date of invoice wala rate? So can I say again this is wrong? Okay, next. Okay, Mr. T, another team member. Mr. T, another team member, verified the fixed asset of One Time Limited, and they purchased few cars. The cars were appearing in fixed asset. T verified the same with invoices. Now, since the cars were for use by director, they were purchased in the name of director. Oh, cars were for official use of director. किसके नाम पे खरीदा? Director. So can I say title deeds of immovable property are not held in the name of company? The title deed of car is not held in the name of company. चलो यहाँ पे it's not immovable, car is movable. So it's held in the name of company. अच्छा. Not held in the name of company. It's held in the name of director. One of the article was checking provision. He understood from you that the circumstances in which the provision is to be recognized. You explain when to record provision. Can I say for a provision there has to be a present obligation? Provision के लिए present obligation होना चाहिए. Outflow of economic resources should be probable, and you are able to make a reliable estimate of outflow. 3 condition. For a provision, there has to be a present obligation, outflow of economic resources should be probable, and number 3 क्या था? That is, you should be able to make a reliable estimate. Next. One Time Limited has invested in shares. One of the company has declared dividend. Okay, declare kiya dividend. The same was not recorded in P&L. So you have invested in shares. They have declared dividend. One Time did not took it in P&L. Is it right or wrong? P&L, dividend income should go in your P&L. याद करो, other income में. Dividend income should go in your P&L, other income. So this is wrong. Okay. The company has spent a huge amount on repair, maintenance of machine. And the amount was accounted in 2 parts. Repairs were booked as revenue while annual maintenance charges were capitalized. So there is some repair and maintenance. Repairs were booked as revenue. This is fine. Annual maintenance charges were capitalized and added to the machine. Is it correct or wrong? Annual maintenance charges were capitalized. This is wrong. You have to take it in P&L only. Annual maintenance charges cannot be capitalized. ठीक है? और भी कितना है question? चलो, हो गया, finished. The huge story was given, each and every item जो check हुई उसके base पे. So this is a question on audit of different items of financial statement. The first one was based on automated environment. Second wala case study, audit of different items of financial statement. Okay, raw material lying in the warehouse. Remember raw material kiska tha? Supplier ka. You have included in your inventory. Raw material of supplier you included in your inventory. Is it correct? The answer is no. Since the same belongs to Mr. AM, supplier, it should appear in his book. So is it correct? No. Because wo uska hai, it should appear in his book. Yeah, this looks fine. It is shown in our book. Is it correct? Yes. No. Ye correct kahan hai? Wrong hai yaar. So this is wrong. It should be shown in the books of both companies. Nahi. It should not appear in books of One Time Limited or AM Limited. किसी की भी books में नहीं आना चाहिए. ये भी गलत. तो can I say answer is A? Answer is A. I want answers from you all people. Before I answer, your answer should have came. That much speed now should be there. Your exams hai after 15 days. Okay, which exchange ratio is to be considered for a foreign debtor? Foreign debtor के लिए कौन सा exchange rate लेना है? Invoice वाला? No. Last day of the year? Yes. Shipment wala, delivery wala? Nahi, last day of the year. We have to bring it to the closing rate. Answer is B. Perfect. Next one. A car. Can I say car was not in the name of company? Director के नाम पे थी. So which assertion is not complied? Existence. क्या car existence में है? Yes. Valuation. Valuation भी बराबर है. Cut off, whichever year it relates, वही साल में recorded है, that is also correct. What is not complied is rights and obligation. Can I say answer is D? It is not in the name of company. Rights and obligation. Fourth one. Which of the condition is not a condition for meeting provision? Provision record के लिए which is not the condition? Which is not the condition to be met for recognizing a provision? When a possible obligation. अब मुझे बताओ क्या provision is a possible obligation? नहीं. Provision is a present obligation. तो possible obligation ये तो गलत हो गया. मतलब basically this is not a condition to provision. तो this becomes correct answer. This becomes correct answer. तो which are to be met होता तो entity has a present obligation सही, reliable estimate सही, probable outflow सही. तो which is not the required condition? A point. Are you clear? Next one, 2.5 dividend. Tell me, dividend incomes are recorded in P&L when? Dividend incomes are recorded in P&L when? You have a right to receive the dividend. It's probable future economic benefit relating to dividend will come and it can be measured reliably. Yeah, D, all of the above. Whether it's A, B, C or D. Answer is D. It's not A, dear. Answer is not A, it's D. The one, you should have a right to receive the dividend. It's probable that future economic benefit related to dividend will flow and you're able to measure it reliably. Are you clear, Himanshu? ये थे case study based MCQ. It's simple, difficult नहीं है. They're really simple. Now going to general MCQs. Okay, general MCQs number 1. General MCQs number 1. A type of a super user to information system that enforces less or no limit on using that system. उसको क्या बोलते हैं? A type of a super user to information system that enforces less or no limits on using the system. He is known as privileged user या privileged access. Answer is D. उसको super user नहीं बोलते, privileged access बोलते हैं. So you get access to everything, almost उसको बोलेंगे privileged access. Which of the following is not an example for inflation of payments? Which of the following is not an example of inflation of payment? Payment inflate नहीं हुआ, कौन सा है? Making payment against fictitious voucher, this is inflation of payment. आप fake bill के सामने payment कर रहे हो. अच्छा, adjusting unauthorized or fictitious rebates, allowances, discount, etc. to customer account, misappropriating amount. Just a minute, क्या हुआ? Need to just zoom a bit. Adjusting unauthorized or fictitious rebate, allowance, discount to customer account and misappropriating amount paid by them. Tell me, amount paid by them misappropriate कर रहा हूँ. Amount paid by them, जो उन्होंने pay किया, is it inflating payment या suppressing receipt? Is it inflating payment या suppressing receipt? It is suppressing receipt. The answer will be B. Answer will be B. B for Bombay. Answer will be B. There's some problem with my system. My pen has stopped working. I'll be back in a minute. Same link. I'll be back in a minute. Just 1 minute wait karo. I'll be back. Okay, fine. Chalo I'll just continue like this. Answer will be B. Answer is B. Next one, third one. Dash requires a firm to establish policies and procedure for retention of dash. The retention period for audit engagement ordinarily is no shorter than dash from the date of audit report. Achha, dash requires you to establish policy for retention of dash and the retention period is no shorter than, tell me pehle, retention period of your working papers kitne saal chahiye? 7 years. The retention period has to be 7 years. ठीक है, this is done. यहाँ पे 7 आना चाहिए. So option will be either it is basically B or C. Now, who tells you that you need to keep it for minimum 7 years? SQC1. Who tells you need to keep it for minimum 7 years? SQC1. The answer is C. SQC1 tells you to keep your engagement documentation for no shorter than 7 years. And I tell you one more thing. SQC1 है ना, they are not only for audit. SQC1 है वो सिर्फ audit के लिए नहीं है. It is applicable for all types of engagement. SQC, standards on quality control, audit करो, review करो, या आप agreed upon procedure करो, everywhere your SQC is applicable. Engagement documentation. Next, dash is a threat. Dash is a threat which occurs when auditor promotes. अच्छा, ये word important है. Auditor promotes. An auditor promotes or is perceived to promote. You are promoting a client opinion. When you are promoting a client opinion, इसको कौन सा threat बोलते हैं? Do we call it as a familiarity threat, advocacy threat, self-review threat, intimidation threat? When we promote something and now we want to go against it, इसको बोलते हैं advocacy threat. Correct? It's a advocacy threat. You advocated something, now you want to go against it. Okay? Next one. Dash refers to audit procedures performed. I repeat, dash refers to audit procedures performed to obtain an understanding of entity and its environment, including internal control. Okay, which is the audit? Yeah, audit procedures performed to obtain understanding of entity, environment, internal controls. ये कौन सी procedure है? Audit procedures performed to obtain understanding of entity, environment, internal controls. इसको बोलते हैं risk assessment procedure. Procedures to identify risky area. याद करो SA 315. Under SA 315, we identify risky areas by understanding entity, environment, internal controls. The answer over here will be B. Risk assessment procedure. Next, now comes your true and false, correct, incorrect. Now comes your true false. We are required to state with reasons whether the following are true or false. First one, no entry is passed for check received by auditee on the last day of the year and not deposited with bank. Okay, check received, not yet deposited. Check received, not yet deposited. They are telling no entry required. Correct or incorrect? Correct or incorrect? Sir, it's incorrect. We need to pass an entry. We are required to show it as what? We are required to show it as checks on hand. It's incorrect. We are required to show it as checks on hand. Next, written representation can be a substitute for other evidence when the auditor could expect to be reasonably available. See, if other evidences are available, तो याद है written representation are the last sort of audit evidence. And see, written representation क्या है उसकी definition? They are the audit evidences obtained in order to किसके लिए? Confirm certain matters or to support other audit evidence. If other evidences are available, representation should not be taken. Yeah, only for supporting it should be taken. Is it a substitute? No. Is it a substitute? No. So this is also wrong. Third one. Actually, my pen has stopped working, तो mouse से click कर रहा हूँ, इसलिए writings are coming back. Don't go for the writing, please. According to para 3, according to para 3(1)(d) of CARO 2020, auditor needs to report whether the company has revalued the PPE or intangible or both. And agar revaluation hua, is it based on a report of registered valuer? And we are required to tell the amount of change if the change is 5% or more of aggregate of net carrying amount. Is it correct or incorrect? Is it correct or incorrect? See, this is incorrect. So CARO clause 3 para उसके अंदर point number 1D. This is fine, but ये 5% की जगह it has to be 10%. This instead of 5% it has to be 10%. This is wrong. Correct. चलो. Fourth one. 5 की जगह it has to be 10%. So if at all PPE या intangible revalue हुआ, auditor has to report whether the revaluation is as per the registered valuer के report के basis. And if the change is 10% or more of net book value, then we are required to specify the amount in our CARO report. Communicating key audit matter is a substitute for reporting under SA 560? No. Communicating key audit matter is not a substitute for reporting on SA 570. 570 वाला report वो going concern material uncertainty. So material uncertainty under going concern is separate. This is not a substitute. Next. A loan taken for a short duration crop. Okay, clearly word लिखा है short duration crop. Short duration crop. Okay, short duration crop will be treated as NPA if it is overdue for 2 crop season. They are writing. If it is overdue for 1 crop season, this is wrong. 1 crop season, it has to be 2 crop season. Next. It needs to be ensured that the drawing power is calculated as per the guidelines formulated by RBI and agreed upon by the statutory auditors. Special consideration need not be given to proper reporting of creditors for the purpose of calculating drawing power. Achha. See, one, it has to be as per the guidelines formulated by RBI. Wo correct hai. That is fine. Special consideration need not be given to proper reporting of creditors for calculating drawing power. No. For calculating drawing power, the special consideration should also be given for proper reporting of creditors. Let's see the solution. एक मिनट आपको solution दिखाता हूँ. This is our true false. True false के अंदर ये रहा. Sixth one, check. It needs to be ensured that the drawing power is as per the exact guidelines formulated by one board of directors of respective bank, not by RBI, board of directors of respective bank. That's the one thing. Yeah. And second, the special consideration should be given to the reporting of sundry creditors for the purpose of calculating drawing power. Dono cheez. One, it should be based on not RBI, it's directions formulated or guidelines formulated by BOD. See, Harik bank, every bank will have a different guidelines for drawing power. Remember, stock ka 80%, stock ka 70%, stock ka 60%. ड्रॉइंग पावर, दैट विल बी बेस्ड ऑन बैंक टू बैंक. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट the duties and powers of comptroller and auditor general in respect of audit किसका? Audit of account of government companies. Government company के audit के लिए shall be performed and exercised by him in accordance with the provisions of Comptroller and Auditor General Duties Powers Condition Act 1971. अच्छा, तो audit of government companies के अंदर the duties power of CAG will be as per the Comptroller and Auditor General Duties Powers Condition of Service Act. Audit under Companies Act है ना, तो उसका duties and powers are already given under Companies Act. याद है section 143 subsection 567. If you can recall section 143 567 powers of CAG. So it's given under Companies Act only, not under CAG Duties Powers Condition of Act. Clear? And the last correct incorrect. Before holding inquiry by a central registrar, 30 days notice must be given to multi-state cooperative society. 30 days notice must be given to multi-state cooperative society. जब भी inquiry बिठाए 30 days, answer is no. 15 days notice is required, not 30 days, 15 days. Correct, Rahul? So this is also wrong. हो गया. This is your MCQs as well as your correct incorrect. And याद दिला दो, MCQs are 30 marks in your paper, correct incorrect 14 marks, 44 marks is objective. MCQ 30, correct incorrect 14, 44 marks is objective. Now coming to the descriptive questions. Question number 2A. The IESBA code. IESBA is basically your ethics related code. Establishes the fundamental principles of professional ethics relevant to auditor when conducting an audit. Discuss and explain the meaning of the word ethics. अच्छा, आपको just meaning of the word ethics देना था. And there are 5 fundamental principles. Anyone? Which are the 5 fundamental principles? Objectivity, integrity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, professional behavior. ये 5 fundamental principles are there. So just explain the meaning of the word ethics. Ethics means doing the right things, वो सारी चीजें. And second, you write down about the 5 fundamental principles. Is it clear? Question 2A. Okay, next. Standards on auditing apply. कब ऐसे apply होते हैं? When you're doing an audit of historical financial information. And standards on review engagement, SRE, वो कब apply होते हैं? When you're doing a review of historical financial information. Explain in detail giving examples. अच्छा, SA apply when you do audit of historical financial information. SRE applies when you do a review of historical financial information. अगर आपको याद हो, audit comes for all companies. We have discussed this in detail. हमारा preface to auditing standards. So audit comes for all companies, but a review सबके लिए नहीं है. Review is mostly for what? Listed entities. Listed entities are required to publish quarterly unaudited but reviewed financial information. Quarterly unaudited but reviewed financial information. Audit we give a reasonable assurance. Review में we give a moderate assurance. याद आ रहा है? Audit we give a reasonable assurance और review में we give a moderate assurance. फिर हमने दिखा था review primarily consist of inquiries from management and analytical procedure. Review primarily consists of inquiry from management, analytical procedure, and the way of giving assurance. याद है audit के अंदर we give assurance in a positive manner, we directly report. Review में the way of giving assurance is in a negative manner. Audit में भी write the financial statement shows a true and fair view. Review में क्या होता है? What happens in review? Based on the procedures performed, which do not give all evidences which are required in audit, nothing has come to our attention. Nothing has come to our attention which causes us to believe that the financial statement do not show a true and fair view. हमारे सामने ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं आया जिससे हम बोले कि it doesn't show a true and fair view. So we are not telling directly, we are telling indirectly. इसको बोलते हैं negative assurance. Are you clear? It's there in our material. Okay, question number 3. Question number 3. The code of ethics. The code of ethics for a professional accountant prepared by International Federation of Accountants identifies 5 types of threats. अच्छा, explain the threats with example. 5 types of threats. कौन से 5 threats थे? कौन से 5 threats थे? Self interest threat, self interest. फिर था self review threat, फिर advocacy threat, familiarity threat, and last one intimidation threat. Self interest threat, self review threat, advocacy, familiarity, intimidation. It's there in our material. I'm not going for it. Okay. Question number 4. Question number 4. Engagement partner. Engagement partner CA Hitesh Kapoor of Kapoor and Associate wants to develop an audit plan. Now, question. Discuss the matters to be described in such plan. Anyone? Discuss the matter which are to be described in such plan. Matters to be described in such plan. Let me try to open up our material, help you understand more better. Tell me, तब तक आप आंसर दो. According to you, which are the matters to be described in plan? I go to chapter number 14 आपका standards. Matters to be described in plan. Okay, terms of engagement, regulatory requirement, no. What's important is to understand question. Question समझ गए ना, then it's fine. But जब तक you don't know what answer to write, you are writing in your own ways, majority time it will go wrong. I'm telling you, majority time वो गलत जाएगा. Think. Till then, I'm just opening this. Okay. SA 300 audit planning. SA 300 audit planning. In that, we have 2 things. If you remember, एक होता है overall audit strategy, then comes the detailed plan. Did they say it about strategy or did they talk about plan? Sir, उन्होंने plan के बारे में बोला. They talked about plan, so I'll just go to plan. The first is the strategy. Strategy को छोड़ते हैं, नीचे will go to plan. Now, if you just see this, ये line. The auditor shall develop a plan that shall include a description of. So can I say plan should include this? Auditor shall develop a plan that shall include a description of this. So can I say plan should include this thing? Sir, kya? Which are the things to be included in plan? Nature, timing, extent of your planned risk assessment procedure. Nature, timing, extent of your further audit procedure for assertion level, each and every item. Other planned procedure to ensure कि आपका audit complies with SA. So these are the 3 points which were to be written. Plus nature, timing, extent of how you are going to do direction, supervision, review. Did you understand? Plan should include a description of. Let me go now back to this. Okay, so what are the matters to be described in the plan? The plan should include a description of. Coming to the solution given by ICAI. Question number here. The plan should include a description of first the nature, timing, extent of plan, risk assessment procedure. Dusra, nature, timing, extent of planned further procedure at assertion level. Third, other audit procedures which you have planned so that the audit is carried out in accordance with SA. Did you understood this? So it's there in material. सब चीज हमारे material में है. Read it very carefully. क्या question है? You should be able to identify. Next one. Next one, question number 4B. Okay, without adequate knowledge of client's business, a proper audit is not possible. The auditor shall obtain understanding of entity's objective and strategy and those related business risks that may result in material misstatement. Give example. This was different. So mark question number 4B as important. Mark question number 4B as important. And अगर आपके पास अभी RTP नहीं है तो write it somewhere. Question number 4B to be referred. So without obtaining client's business का knowledge, proper audit is not possible. अच्छा, client knowledge के अंदर objective and strategies of client we need to understand. Explain giving examples. Now examples are simple. If we just see the example or solution given, it's simple one. We are able to understand. तो clients objectives and strategies के related में you need to write उसके related risk. If one of the management objective is to grow the business, can I say they will develop a strategy of doing a regular marketing, etc., finding new markets, doing advertisements. अब उसके कारण थोड़े risk भी रहते हैं. Which are the risks? Potential business risk. Audit के risk नहीं. Business risk. Now tell me, if you constantly want to grow, is it possible कि आप लोग सब जगह पहुंच नहीं पाओ? You are not able to reach on a proper time. फिर आप बहुत overload हो गए हो. Sometimes what happens is, if at all I want to do constant marketing of the product, so it is possible I'm not giving time for product development. I'm just giving time for marketing. So fail to keep the products up to date. Excessive reliance on key supplier. अच्छा, इसका example. You know, there was a chip related issue. Yeah, there is actually going on the chip related issue in manufacturing of car manufacture में chips का issue है. And Maruti Suzuki was a company, they suffered a lot compared to Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra. Maruti Suzuki, they suffered a lot because for them there was only one supplier of chip manufacturer. तो जो उनको chips आती थी कार में, that was basically they had only one vendor. That vendor had more acute problems compared to other vendors. तो मारुति को ज़्यादा problem आए, टाटा को कम problem आए थे. तो मारुति production, there was a month उनका production went down by 60%. They're able to produce only 40%. Okay, then lack of personnel with expertise because आप कई बार change कर रहे हो. Insufficient or excessive production capacity caused by inaccurate estimation of demand. ये सारे are the risk relating to strategies and objectives of client. ये client के ही risk है. If at all client wants to grow तो उसके related के risk. Did you understood the question? Okay, next one. Question number 5. You are being appointed as auditor of Track Limited for the first time appointed हो. You want to determine materiality level and you know कि भाई आप percentage apply करते हो कोई benchmark के. याद है materiality level is some percentage of PAT, PBT, turnover, net worth. उसको बोलते हैं some percentage of benchmark. वो benchmark है. अच्छा, factors affecting identification of appropriate benchmark, that's the question. What are the factors affecting identification of appropriate benchmark? It is already given in our material. 5 points are there. 5 points are there. First, try to see option कौन सा available है. Second, user किस पे focus कर रहा है. Is it more of debt oriented या equity oriented company? Fourth है nature of industry, life cycle, वो सारी चीजें. And fifth, the volatility. Choose a benchmark which is stable, less volatile. Next one, chapter number 3. Next one, chapter number 3, documentation. Sixth question is again important. Sixth important. So question 4B important, question 6 important. 4B as such easy tha, but important because you have not done it earlier. Same way question 6. While conducting audit of PUMMI Limited, the statutory auditor collected written representations from management. The audit was finalized in addition to other audit procedure, but without making any inquiry as the auditor was short of time. अच्छा, तो आपने audit final कर दिया. You did not use the method of inquiry. Remember, inquiry is one of the method of obtaining audit evidence. Inquiry is one of the method of obtaining audit evidence. अच्छा, now क्या है? State the importance of inquiry as a method of collecting audit evidence. State the importance of inquiry as a method of collecting audit evidence. Inquiry is one of the method of obtaining audit evidence. It is important. Yes, it's important. Many times we inquire with management, TCWG, even outsiders. Outsiders से भी inquiry करते हैं. And responses to inquiry are also an integral part of inquiry. याद आया? There was a correct, incorrect in our material. Responses to inquiry are also integral part of our inquiry. So check solution given. Check the solution given. Here, inquiry consists of seeking information of knowledgeable person, financial, non-financial, within, outside, सब जगह से. Responses to inquiry are also a part of your process of inquiry, and they give you a various type of evidences. So that is there. Although corroboration of evidence obtained through inquiry is often of particular importance, there are few cases. कई बार ऐसा होगा कि भाई आपको जो इंफॉर्मेशन इंक्वायरी से मिल रही है दूसरी जगह से नहीं मिल रही है, और दूसरी जगह से इंफॉर्मेशन मिली कैन नॉट बी corroborated with inquiry now. That is possible. And lastly, the auditor may consider it necessary to obtain a written representation from management to confirm the responses to oral inquiry. अगर oral inquiry उन्होंने जवाब दिया था, it's oral ना, so better to get it by way of a written representation. The question था, what is the question? What is the question? Importance of inquiry. Importance of inquiry as a method of collecting audit evidence. Did you understand question 6? So till now question 4B and question 6, though important. Question 4B, question 6, these two are important, others are all simpler. Next, question 7A. Next one, question number 7A. GPS and Company. GPS and Company Chartered Accountant conducting the audit of Pratibha Limited, a listed company, for year ended 31st March 22 is concerned with presentation, disclosure of segmental information. Very good question, pay attention. Very good question, please pay attention. ठीक है? Now, GPS and Company wanted to ensure that the method adopted by management for determining segmental information that would have resulted in accordance with, मतलब वो disclosures are in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework, guide GPS with examples of matters that may be relevant when obtaining understanding of the method used by management for that. So question is on essay 501. If you recall essay 501 क्या था? 501 special items. Special items में तीन चीजें थी. One, attendance at physical inventory counting. Number 2 was inquiry regarding litigations and claims. and third one was segmental information. Okay, for the segmental information, there are methods adopted by management which would have resulted in disclosure of segmental information as per the applicable financial reporting framework. What are the examples of those matters? Let me just show you in our material kya answer hai. It's a very good question. Just show it to you. Purpose of showing is to make you understand ये पूछा गया था. Don't write anything else. So don't write general about segmental information. If I just go down to segmental reporting, this is your part C, segmental information. Now, if you just check over here, segmental information में ये point, depending on circumstances, examples of matter that may be relevant. Examples of matter that may be relevant when obtaining understanding of method used by management. This is actually the question. ये जो 4 point दिए ना ABCD, एक we need to check is sales, transfer, charges between segment, वो कैसे होता है. Second, budgets and actual for different segments. Third, allocation of common cost, common asset कैसे हो रहा है. And fourth, whether the segmental information is consistent with the prior period. How they determine segment, how they bifurcated figures, जो prior period में था same way इस बार भी है. This is your answer. Did you understood this? बस इतना लिखना था. Now if you write meaning of segmental reporting AS17 ने बोला है, AS17 tells you to give disclosure and notes to accounts, वो question ही नहीं है यार. Understand what question is. चलो next. Pachranga International Limited is a manufacturer of pickle. ठीक है, you are a manufacturer of pickle, jam. You are in food industry. Auditor SPV and company wants to identify litigations and claims which may give rise to material misstatement. Okay, how to identify litigations and claims? How to identify litigations and claims? एक तो list ले लो management के पास से. Take a list from management. Number 2, you go through the legal expense account. Legal expense accounts में से you find out. Third, you can talk with the lawyer, etc. Sometimes lawyer will not communicate directly with you. The letter should go from management to lawyer, telling the lawyer to talk with us directly. ये सारी चीजें तो again this is SA 501. Again this SA 501. इसका answer is this. Inquiry regarding litigations and claim. ये part B. उसके अंदर this point. Auditor shall design, just this much. Auditor shall design and perform audit procedure in order to identify litigations and claims. Yeah, inquire with management and the legal counsel. Review the minutes of meeting of TCWG. Review legal expense account and also ये वाला communication with lawyers. Are you clear, Rahul? This is your answer. Next. TRS and Associates, Chartered Accountant, have completed the audit of genuine leathers and you started assembling the file. So audit khatam hoga, we need to assemble into a final file within 60 days from end of audit report. Audit report देने के बाद 60 days में file बनानी है. TRS and Associate have a good established policies procedure for timely completion of audit file. Explain the various aspects related to final audit file discussed in SA 230 giving reference of SQC1. अब सर ये कौन सा क्वेश्चन है? ये कौन सा क्वेश्चन? SA 230 का. Let me just show you what the question is. SA 230. SA 230 के अंदर if I just go down, you'll find point number 4. ये assembling into a final audit file. Assembling into a final audit file. This is the question. So 1, it should be done no more than 60 days from the date of audit report. And second, assembling is actually an admin process. वो admin process में हम क्या क्या करते हैं? Deleting, discarding, superseded documentation, cross-referencing, collating, sorting out the things, signing off. हाँ, new evidence ये phase में नहीं आते. We don't take any new evidence during this phase. And SQC1 ने बोला you complete within 60 days. And ये आपकी जो file बनी, that file you have to keep it for a period of 7 years. This was the question. Next, chapter number 4. Generally, IT benefits an internal entity's internal control by enabling an entity to enhance the timeliness, availability, and accuracy. Discuss explaining the relevant point. The question is benefits of IT. Question is benefits of IT. Already हमारे material में है. It's a simple normal question. There is no problem in interpreting this. Next one. Next one, question number 9B. While conducting audit of Smart TV Limited, you have considered the materiality and audit risk. Question, explain the meaning of audit risk. Acha, what is the meaning of audit risk? Audit risk is the risk that auditor expresses an inappropriate opinion on the financial statements which are materially misstated. Audit risk is the risk that auditor expresses which opinion? Inappropriate on the financial statement which are materially misstated. The financial statements materially misstated hai, but I am not able to find that misstatement. There are fraud and error, I am not able to find. तो modified की जगह मैंने clean report दिया, that's a audit risk. Modified की जगह आपने clean report दिया, that's a audit risk. Clean की जगह modified, नहीं. Clean की जगह modified वो audit risk नहीं है. Reason, clean की जगह modified का meaning there were no fraud and error, but I found. Fraud and error नहीं थे, but मुझे मिले. That's insignificant. वो होता नहीं है. होता क्या है? Fraud and error थे, but आपको मिले नहीं. So this is audit risk. Audit risk के 3 components: inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. ठीक है, simple. Question number 10. Saburi Textile is an established player in textile market. It has developed a strong internal controls. You are an internal audit team का head. You are an internal audit team head. Internal audit has a very strong relation with internal control. Internal audit has a very strong relation with internal control. Can I say internal audit team checks the internal controls in detail? Okay. Internal auditor analyzes the effectiveness of internal control and also makes suggestion for improving it. Explain clearly activities relating to internal control. Achha, what are the activities of internal auditor in relation to internal control? Repeat question. What are the activities of internal auditor in relation to internal controls? Question simple hai, not difficult. Let's see. Okay. What are the activities of internal auditor in relation to internal control? Can I say 1, they will evaluate the internal controls, whether the controls are working properly or not. They will examine financial operating system which is coming, financial operating information which is coming from internal control. They'll review the operating activities, whether the activities are conducted economically, efficiently, with effectiveness, whether laws and regulations are being complied, because हम लोगों ने internal controls बनाए होंगे for complying with laws and regulation also. So this is the answer. So activities of internal auditor with respect to internal control. 4 चीजें: evaluation of control, examination of financial operational information coming out of controls. Third, examination or review of operating activities. And last one is whether compliance of laws and regulation is happening or not. This was thoda sa bit different question. This also important. So till now 3 questions I have marked you as important. 4B, then question 6, and here question number 10. 4B, question 6 and 10. Next, question 11. Next is question number 11. CA Dev of DR Sanduja and Company, a statutory auditor of Girija Febs Limited, You are performing a duty and you have a reason to believe that an offense of rupees 1.25 crores, offense of fraud, 1.25 crore ka fraud you feel has been committed by its employee. Section 143 subsection 12. Section 143 subsection 12. Are you required to report frauds against the company by its employee which are 1 crore or more? Against the company by its employee of 1 crore or more, वो मुझे report करना था. Yes. Remember, fraud amount individually should be 1 crore or more. ठीक है. The auditor wanted to report the matter to CG, and your rule says that if the auditor in performance of duty as a statutory auditor has a reason to believe that offense of fraud which involves or is expected to involve individually amount of 1 crore or above which is committed against the company by its officer employee, the auditor shall report to CG. Question kya hai? Explain the manner of reporting. How do you report to CG? First of all, I have to prepare a report on fraud immediately and I have to send it. किसको भेजना है? Audit committee or board of director, asking them to reply within 45 days. अच्छा, उनका reply जब आ जाए, my report plus their reply within 15 days, I have to send it to CG. अगर उनका reply नहीं आया, if their reply is not received, 45 days over, my report, I'll send it to CG within next 15 days, telling कि उनका reply has not came. Sir, how do I send it? How do I send it? It's via a speed post or a registered post, acknowledgement due, followed by email. Whom do I send it? Secretary, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Sir, content, it will be, content is based on ADT4 and it will be on a letterhead of auditor. Auditor ke letterhead pe content is as per ADT4. Okay, this was the question. Fine. Next, 12th. Next question number 12. Okay. You are an auditor of Always Best Company Limited. Always Best Company Limited. Auditor B of BL Kapoor and Co. observes there are a lot of intentional misstatement. Always Best is doing a lot of intentional misstatement like fake invoices and considers this encounter as exceptional circumstances, and this brings into question his ability to continue the audit. What will you do? अच्छा, तो question is, आपने थोड़े fraud find करे company में, intentional misstatements are there, fake invoices are there, and this brings into question your ability to continue. क्या करे? This brings into question your ability to continue. क्या करे? This is SA 240. I'll show you इसका answer. Majority student will write it very generally, and I tell you, जब भी आप general लिखोगे, marks will not be there. Questions are specific. So you just go to SA 240. Now in your SA 240, there is this point number 7. There is this point number 7. Auditor unable to continue. Auditor unable to continue. This is the answer. This is the answer. So bhai, there are some issues which brings into question whether we should continue or not. Ye raha dekho niche question. Which brings into question your ability to continue performing the audit. Which brings into question your ability to continue performing audit. तो क्या लिखना है? 1. We need to determine the professional and legal responsible applicable in circumstances. Consider whether withdrawal is appropriate or not. You consider whether withdrawal is appropriate. And if you withdraw, discuss with appropriate level of management TCWG and see are there any professional or legal requirement. याद करो ADT3 file करना पड़ेगा if it's a company. So that all is to be answered. Question was only this. Now if you write all stories कि भी company में problem है, because of problem he wants to withdraw, withdrawal is allowed, section 140 subsection 3 allows you, आप करो withdrawal, वो question ही नहीं था. Question is this. So first consider or determine the professional legal responsibility applicable in circumstances. Consider whether it's appropriate to withdraw, and if you withdraw, discuss with appropriate level of management TCWG and determine whether there's a legal professional responsibility to report about your withdrawal. Are you clear? This is the answer. Next one. With respect to automated environment, explain the following. Okay, so if definitions are asked, it's a direct question, it's there in our material. Sare ke sare definition already there in our material, I'm not discussing. The application, automated, CATs, data processing, general IT control. Next, explain the meaning of IFC. And also state reporting requirement on adequacy of internal financial control. Okay, which section tells you to report on IFC? Section 143 subsection 3 clause I. I repeat, section 143 subsection 3 clause I. And also discuss its applicability. Okay, whether IFC reporting applicable to everyone. Ek dena hai meaning of IFC. Second, we have to talk about section 143 subsection 3 clause I. As per section 143 subsection 3 clause I, auditor has to report kya? दो चीज है. One, the internal financial controls laid down by management are adequate, and second, they are operating effectively. The internal financial controls laid down by management are adequate and they are operating effectively. And applicability, IFC reporting does not apply to OPC, small company, private limited company having a turnover less than 50 crores in last year, and borrowings less than 25 crore at any time during the financial year. IFC reporting not applicable to whom? That was the question. Are you clear? Question 14. Next, 15. Next one, 15. What are the advantages of statistical sampling? Very simple, direct question. Advantages of statistical sampling. It's there in our material. Acha, next, sampling risk can lead to two type of erroneous conclusion. Acha, pehle to sampling risk kya hai? What is the sampling risk? Sampling risk is the risk that auditor's opinion based on sample would be different if the whole population was subject to audit. The auditor's opinion based on sample alag hoga if whole population was subject to audit. Now, there are two types of erroneous conclusion which comes up if I go for sampling. Which are they? एक चीज, या तो मुझे सैंपल में कम एरर मिली परसेंटेज वाइज आई फाउंड लेस एरर्स इन सैंपल, पॉपुलेशन में ज्यादा है, या तो मुझे सैंपल में मोर एरर मिली, पॉपुलेशन में कम है. परसेंटेज, एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स नहीं, परसेंटेज वाइज. So if I find lesser errors in sample, if I'm checking controls, I'll feel controls are more effective. I'll rely on controls. If I find less errors, I'll rely on control. So there is a risk of excessive reliance. You will rely more on control. So you feel controls are more effective than they actually are. And अगर आपको ज़्यादा errors मिली sample में, तो you will feel controls are less effective than they actually are. अगर आप compliance नहीं, substantive procedure कर रहे थे, if you are checking data, figures, if you find less errors in sample, you find material misstatement नहीं है when in fact it was there. And if you find more error, you will feel material misstatement exists when it does not exist. This is the answer. Let me just show you. This is our SA 530. Okay. This is the question. See how many times this has been asked. Sampling risk. पहले उसकी definition, फिर it can lead to two types of erroneous conclusions, A and B point. एक में we find more errors percentage wise compared to population, दूसरे में we find less errors percentage wise compared to population. I hope you are clear. Next one, question number 17. Next is question number 17. Okay. If analytical procedures performed in accordance with SA 520 identify fluctuations. अगर आपको analytical procedures में fluctuations mile, how would you investigate the difference? This is the last requirement of SA 520. This is the last requirement of SA 520. Let me open up SA 520. ये 530 है. This is 520. Okay, check. SA 520 analytical procedure. उसके अंदर if you find fluctuation, how do you investigate? ये रहा. If you find fluctuation, how do you investigate? This is your answer. Investigating unusual item. दो चीजें. One, you inquire with the management and obtain evidence about the management responses. तो एक inquire करो management के साथ, obtain evidence about the responses. And second, you can do any other procedure whichever you deem appropriate in the circumstances. Any procedure whichever you deem appropriate in the circumstances. This is investigating fluctuations identified in analytical procedure. Next one. Question 18. Question 18. Discuss the matters related to auditor's evaluation of whether the expectation can be developed precisely to identify a misstatement. Discuss the matters relevant to. Acha, ye question be important, bit different. This question is also important, bit different. Question 4B, then question number 10, question number 6, question 18. Question 4B, question 6, question 10, question 18. 4 question important. Discuss the matters relevant to auditor evaluation of whether expectation can be developed sufficient precisely to identify a misstatement when aggregated with other misstatement will cause the financial statement to be materially misstated. Okay, so we are whether an expectation can be developed sufficiently to identify a misstatement that when aggregated with other misstatement may cause the financial statement to be materially misstated. Achha, ye hai na, this is based on SA 450. This is related to SA 450. If you just recall SA 450, we identified some misstatement. थोड़ी सी misstatement identify हुई, and then we try to predict what will be the misstatements in remaining portion. याद है? तो out of 40 this many, तो remaining 60 में कितना होगा? We identified some misstatement, we try to project some other misstatements, and then we come to a conclusion. वो जो projection होगा ना, that's based on analytical procedure. So 40 में this much, remaining 60, how much it will be? That's based on analytical procedure. So state the matters related to that projection. So I just go to the solution given by them. Question number is 18. Here. The matters relating to auditor's evaluation of whether expectation can be developed. तो उसके लिए क्या है? One, the accuracy with which the expected result of procedure can be predicted. If you are able to predict the basically accuracy of substantive procedure, तो can I say वो दूसरी misstatement कितनी है? That can also be accurately predicted. The degree to which the data can be disaggregated. Okay, more the data available in a disaggregated manner. Aggregated nahi, disaggregated. Better you can do analysis. More the data in a disaggregated manner, better you can do analysis. Third, the availability of information. If information, financial, non-financial, available, so can I say you are able to do better analysis? So availability of information. These are the 3 points. How much accuracy with which you can do analytical procedure, how the data is available to you, that is disaggregation kitni hai, and the availability of financial, non-financial information. Question as such was bit different. Answer is not difficult. It's understandable, but we should have read once. So till now, 4 good questions. Question 4B, question 6, question 10, question 18. Now let's go to the 19th question. Achha, question number 19. How will you verify the following items? These are all direct questions. All questions are there in our material. Repeat, ये सारे के सारे direct questions हैं. They're all in our material. Recovery of bad debt is there. receipt of insurance claim, payment of tax, and scrap. All are covered in our material. I'm not taking it. Next, question 20. Question number 20. While conducting audit of Airspace Limited, auditor observed it has issued the shares at discount to creditors. I have a question. The shares are issued at discount to creditors, which is converted in accordance with the scheme guidelines specified by RBI. Is it valid? You issued shares at discount to creditor, which is as per the debt restructuring scheme as per the guidelines specified by RBI. Is it valid? This is the amendment. We started RTP with this only. Yaad karo, section 53 mein there is an amendment. Is this valid? Answer is yes, it's valid. Yes, it's valid. So can I issue shares at discount? You cannot issue shares at discount unless it's a sweat equity share or the shares are issued to creditor. Under a debt restructuring program which is in accordance with the guidelines of RBI. So this is the thing with we started our RTP. Next one, chapter number 10. Next is chapter number 10, question number 21. Question 21. Achha, before the appointment is made under section 139 subsection 1, a written consent of auditor and a certificate is taken from him. Written consent lete uske paas se, as well as a certificate is taken from him, in which, if you remember, there are 4 items given in the certificate. Explain clearly the provisions of 139(1) along with rule number 4. Achha, the question is relating to the content of your certificate. So before we appoint an auditor, we have to get a written consent from him कि भैया अगर आपको appoint करे, you will take up the appointment. And number two, we take a certificate which includes 4 things. उसके पास से certificate लेते हैं which includes 4 things. Which are the 4 things? 1, he is not disqualified. 2nd, appointment is as per the terms of the act. 3rd, audit is within the limit. And 4th, जो भी litigations are going on against the firm or the partners, that list is to be given and the list is to be certified as true and correct. Yeah, true and correct, not true and fair. So this is not, we are talking about financial. The auditor is not giving a report on financial. Auditor is telling that this many litigations are going on against the firm or the partners and that you have to certify as true and correct. Appointed CA Lakshman, Harry Limited, appointed CA Lakshman as an auditor of the company for the term of 5 years. Okay, you appointed CA Lakshman as an auditor for 5 years. You also offered him the services of actuarial, which was also approved by board of director. This is question on section 144. Yaad karo section 144. If you are an auditor, you should not directly or indirectly render the services. Directly or indirectly, you should not render the services covered under 144 to the company or its holding company or its subsidiary company. Yaad aaya? If you are an auditor, section 144 says you should not render the services covered under 144 to the company or its holding company or its subsidiary, and list दिया था. वो list के अंदर actuarial services included. So if I am an auditor, we cannot be giving actuarial services. If we are giving that, we are disqualified. 141 subsection 3 में आप disqualified हो जाओगे. You are deemed to have vacated your place of office as an auditor. ये हो गया casual vacancy यहाँ पे. I hope you are clear. अच्छा, now, sir, how to write this answer? चलो मुझे पता है actuarial services I cannot give. Sir, do I need to write section 144 fully? क्या लग रहा है? Do I need to write the full section 144 sari services which cannot be given? Do I need to give a list of all that thing fully? Answer is yes. You have to write 144 fully. Let's see over here the solution given by them. अब उन्होंने लिखा है तो हमें लिखना पड़ेगा. If they have written, we need to write it. Let me just go down to the solution, what they have given. Okay, this was related to that certificate wala point. We are required to basically take a written consent and a certificate. This consent, certificate ke 4 points, A, B, C, D. Okay, next. This is about section 143, subsection 3, last wala point. Last wala point. What they are telling? You are disqualified if at all you are accepting any appointments covered under section 144 wala. 144 ने क्या बोला? Check out, they've explained fully all services, accounting, bookkeeping, internal audit, all services, the details is basically given. We need to write that. पूरा list देना. Don't try to explain what directly, indirectly का meaning क्या है. Don't try to explain directly, indirectly because question is not related to that. But you have to give the list of services and then आप लिखो. In the given case, CA Lakshman was appointed as an auditor. He also offered additional actuarial wala services which was approved by board of director. Lakshman is advised not to accept, otherwise he will be guilty and he will be disqualified under section 141 subsection 3. Disqualify ho jaoge, deemed to have vacated your place of office as an auditor. Okay, then this was question 21. Let's come to 22. This was 21, going to 22. Okay, explain reporting requirement under CARO for PP and intangible. अच्छा, reporting requirement under CARO 2020 for PP and intangible. फिर से reminder, for your examination May 22 onwards, CARO 2020 is applicable, not CARO 16. Repeat, CARO 2020 is applicable, not CARO 16. In case anybody has done CARO 16, CARO 2020, I have already taken a free lecture on Unacademy app. On Unacademy, you go to my profile, uske andar special class, they are free. Yeah, the special classes are free. You can just watch that CARO 2020. It's very important. अच्छा, CARO 2020 में fixed asset के लिए reporting. CARO 16 में there were 3 points. Remember CARO 2020 there are 5 points. कौन से 5 points थे? First was related to proper records. उसमें PPE के, intangible के. Second was relating to physical verification done by management at a reasonable interval and discrepancies have been properly accounted. वो second point था. Third one, title deeds of immovable property are held in the name of company. Fourth वाला, अगर revaluation हुआ PPE or intangible, the revaluation is based on certificate of a registered valuer, and if there is a change, the change it's 10% or more, you have to put the amount of change also in CARO report. You have to put the amount of change also in CARO report. So there are total basically 5 points which are to be reported over here. Let me just show you the solution. Here. Point number 1 is basically for proper records, maintaining proper records. Point number 2 is basically for your physically verified by management at reasonable interval. Point number 3 is title deeds held in the name of company. 4 was revaluation. Fifth one, benami property. I forgot to tell you fifth one. Whether any proceeding has been initiated against the company under benami property wala act, holding any benami property, that is the fifth one. Okay, direct question, but just remember CARO 2020 applicable, not CARO 16. Next question, 24th. Next is question number 24. The auditor shall evaluate whether the financial statements are prepared in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. Explain clearly the specific evaluations made by auditor. Explain clearly evaluations made by auditor. Sir, ये क्या पूछा है? You need to see the financial statements are prepared in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. उसके लिए क्या evaluate करो? I'll show you the answer. If you remember, SA 700, we have to form an opinion and then express an opinion. एक होता है फॉर्मिंग ओपिनियन, दूसरा होता है एक्सप्रेसिंग योर ओपिनियन। ओके, तो जो फॉर्मिंग ओपिनियन के पॉइंट्स थे ना, फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ फॉर्मिंग ओपिनियन हम इवेल्युएट करते थे, दैट इज द आंसर। इफ आई जस्ट गो डाउन, ये रहा, दिस इज फॉर्मिंग एन ओपिनियन। फॉर्मिंग एन ओपिनियन के अंदर ऑडिटर शेल फॉर्म अ ओपिनियन वेदर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर प्रिपेयर्ड एज पर एप्लीकेबल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क। व्हाट आर द स्पेसिफिक इवैल्यूएशन? तो यहां पे देखो सी पॉइंट, ऑडिटर शेल इवैल्यूएट, ऑडिटर शेल इवैल्यूएट, दिस इज द आंसर। ऑलरेडी है, सारी चीजें हैं हमारे मटेरियल में, यू शुड बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज आस्क्ड। Auditor shall evaluate, one, कि भाई significant accounting policies are properly disclosed. Second, they are applied consistently. Third, estimates made by the management are reasonable. Presentation is proper. Disclosures are made properly. Schedule 3 is followed. Terminologies जो use करें, the terminologies used are proper one. So see, if non-current asset है, I cannot make it long-term asset. उसको मैं long-term नहीं कर सकता. That all things are done. So this is the answer. Are you clear? फिर आप जनरल लिख के आओ, मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे। नेक्स्ट वन, क्वेश्चन 25। Question number 25. When auditor disclaims an opinion on financial statement due to inedibility, I repeat, when auditor disclaims an opinion on financial statement due to inability to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence, auditor shall amend the description of auditor's responsibility. Achha, the question is, if you are giving disclaimer, if you are giving a disclaimer of opinion, you should amend the description of responsibility. Remember auditor's responsibility, 3 big paragraphs. Auditor's responsibility, 3 big paragraph. Agar you are giving a disclaimer of opinion, instead of 3 big para, only 1 para comes with 3 sentence. Only 1 para comes with this 3 sentence. That's the question. I'll just show you. SA 705. Okay, SA 705. Whenever you are giving a disclaimer, उसके अंदर आपका ऑडिटर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पैरा, इंस्टेड ऑफ 3 बिग पैरा, 1 पैरा. This is the question which is asked. Description of auditor's responsibility when auditor disclaims an opinion. यही पूछा था. Description of auditor's responsibility when auditor disclaims an opinion. Same question was asked in July 21 exam also. Same question was asked July 21 exam also. So 3 big para की जगह just 1 para. And 1 para will have a 3 sentence. 1. Statement कि our responsibility is to conduct audit in accordance with SA. Second, the statement that because of the matters described in basis for disclaimer of opinion section of the report, we were unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for our audit opinion. And हम statement करेंगे we are independent and we have followed all other ethical requirements. Are you clear? Next question. This is question number 25. Now 26. Bank audit. Question number 26. There are different provisioning requirement to different categories of NPA. Okay, different provisioning requirement for different categories of NPA. Substandard, doubtful, loss. Explain in detail. So we have to explain the meaning of substandard, doubtful, loss and कितना provision करना है. Simple. So substandard, doubtful, loss का meaning and the provision which is required. This is the question. I hope you are clear. You already done such a thing. Simple one. Next. Next one, for audit of provisions and contingencies, the auditor should ensure, for audit of provision and contingencies, auditor should ensure the compliance of various regulatory requirement for provision as contained in various circulars are fulfilled. अच्छा, तो how do you audit provisions and contingencies? अच्छा, provisions and contingencies में एक होता है provision on NPA. जो NPA का provision वो हम check करते हैं. NPA का provision, can I say it should be based on the circulars, guidelines issued by RBI. Second होता है provision for tax. Second होता है provision for tax. That is based on the requirement of Income Tax Act 1961. And third होता है दूसरे provision, other provisions. Like asset is damaged, repair कराना पड़ेगा, repair का provision, litigation going on उसका provision, other provision. तो provisions तीन part में है. One is NPA provision, second is tax provision, other provision. This is question 27B. Let me just show you the answer. 27A, 27B. Okay. So this is basically the audit of provision. यहाँ पे check करो, ये रहा audit of provision. One is basically your provision relating to NPA. तो they say यहाँ पे we classify into standard, substandard, doubtful loss. Then comes basically your tax provision. Check second over here is tax provision, and third is basically your other provisions. Now, next question. This is question 20. This was basically classification of NPA, substandard, doubtful loss किसको बोलते हैं, and उनके provisioning percentage. Very simple one. Next one is question number 28. Let's see question 28. Okay, question 28. Pilferage is one of the greatest problem in any hotel. Hotel के अंदर सबसे बड़ा problem is pilferage, and importance of internal control cannot be undermined. The question is only related to pilferage point. अगर मैं just open करूँ that chapter, let me just open up that chapter, audit of different items of financial statement. I just want to show you what the question is. Audit of different items of financial statement. उसके अंदर audit of hotel. के अंदर audit of hotel. Okay, in audit of hotel, question is only on this first point. ये सिर्फ internal control पे question है. This is actually the answer. पिल्फरेज छोटी मोटी चोरियां होटल्स में होती रहती है, तो उसके लिए इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स कैन नॉट बी अंडरमाइन, मींस इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ इंटरनल कंट्रोल कैन नॉट बी इग्नोर्ड. दिस इज द आंसर. आई होप यू आर क्लियर. एंड नाउ द लास्ट वन. Now the last question, let's check it. Question number 28B. Question number 28B. Cursor कहाँ गया? Okay, 28B. No inspection under section 79 of Multi-State Cooperative Society Act shall be made unless a notice is given to Multi-State Cooperative Society. Explain clearly when and how such inspection can be made, and also the powers of Central Registrar for this thing. अच्छा, तो अगर आपको याद है Multi-State Cooperative Society में दो थे, inquiry and inspection. This is on inspection. तो कब inspection order होता है? तो one basically is आपके 1/3 ऑफ योर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने कंप्लेंट करी, या 1/5 ऑफ योर मेंबर्स ने कंप्लेंट करी, या फेडरल कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी ने कंप्लेंट करी, देन दैट इंस्पेक्शन इज बेसिकली देयर. जब भी इंस्पेक्शन आएगा, रिमेंबर दे गिव यू 15 days मिनिमम टाइम टू कीप योर थिंग्स रेडी, एंड देन देयर वर सम पावर्स ऑफ बेसिकली द इंस्पेक्टिंग ऑफिसर. तो एक्चुअली आंसर इज दिस. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू लास्ट में दिस चैप्टर. ये रहा. This is inspection by central registrar under section 79. This is basically the question. कब होता है इंस्पेक्शन? तो 1, फेडरल कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी ने कंप्लेन करी और योर क्रेडिटर इज कंप्लेन और 1/3 ऑफ योर मेंबर्स और 1/5 ऑफ योर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. 1/3 ऑफ योर मेंबर्स, 1/5 ऑफ योर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. नहीं 1/3 ऑफ योर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, 1/5 ऑफ योर शेयर होल्डर्स. 20% शेयर होल्डर, 33.33% योर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. प्लस 15 डेज नोटिस देंगे. पावर्स क्या होगा? दिस इज योर आंसर. तो RTP May 22 was a good one. 4 questions according to me were very good. फिर से बता रहा हूँ, 4 questions according to me were very good. Sir, which were that question? Question 4B, question number 6, question number 10, and last wala question number 18. 4B, 6, 10, 18. These are the 4 questions. You please focus properly. Other questions सारे के सारे simple थे, easy to interpret it. बड़ा एग्जाम्स आर नियरर, टाइम वेस्ट कुछ भी नहीं करना है. यू नीड टू एंश्योर यू आर वर्किंग टू योर बेस्ट. every day of yours should go with a smile on your face. You should be satisfied and happy with the efforts which you have put in. You see, constantly thinking about problem is not going to give you solution. Constantly thinking about problem is not going to give you solution. So identify your problem. मैं नहीं बोल रहा कि भाई प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई मत करो. Identify your problem, but give your time and energy to its solution. Repeat, identify the problem, but give your time and energy for its solution. Problem क्या है? हम लोग पूरा टाइम देते थे प्रॉब्लम को ही सोचने के बारे में. We are not thinking about solution, we are constantly thinking about problem. So please make sure you're thinking about the solution, not thinking about problem. And I started with a sentence of Martin Luther the King. फिर से बता रहा हूँ. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But don't stop. रुकना नहीं है. 31 days are there till completion of exam. Make sure you're not stopping in between. Okay, anybody having any doubts, tell me. Otherwise, we put an end to this session. Pandu, Rahul, Himanshu, any doubts? Any doubts? Anybody? We have discussed the full RTP. फिर से आपको बता दूं, there are 4 questions which were good, a bit different one. Question 4B, question number 6, question number 10, question number 18. Those who are joining late, आप आराम से ये फिर से RTP देख लेना. The recorded one will be available on your YouTube only. I'll recommend you to go through this RTP session. It's always good, yaar. See, if you try to do on your own, it will take around 3-4 hours minimum. यहाँ पे in 2 hours the RTP is over. तो खुद करोगे उससे half time में it gets over. Better to watch a RTP session. Any doubts? Anybody? Okay, I think there aren't any doubts from your side. So I also take a leave. Bye-bye. All the best. Study well. All the best for your examinations and study well. Anytime you have any difficulty related to subject, yeah, just a general problem, you feel you are not confident, आपको मुझसे बात करनी है and you feel I can help you, I'll be the most happy person. हमारे material में the last page, my number is already given to you. You can definitely contact me. चलो, bye-bye. Take care.